What's up, guys? Today we're playing Epic 7, and today we're on a subscriber account, Snow Me the Way. Now, today we are going to go for Nightmare Council. This should be pretty interesting because I have no idea who I'm going to use yet. We need to have at least two people who can cleanse, two people who do damage, and no debuffs. Super simple, right? Let's go in and do it, and let's hope we get some good gear as well. Let's go now into our heroes that we're using for the Nightmare Council. I'm using a full Earth team. And first up, we have Landy. Now, this Landy is a triple S, which, I mean, is amazing, right? I mean, not even my Landy is triple S. So that'll give her a lot of extra attack. And we have her at 3,800 attack. Anything 3,500 and more should be pretty good. You can have her as fast as you want if you use her for PvP. Now I have her at 173 because I want to use her onto something like a Dark Expo. I don't want her to use her S3 before the boss has gone, because that will throw off the skill order for all your other heroes. Now, this is a light boss, so we want to have as much crit damage as we can. 85% is pretty good, and the rest can go into crit damage. Now I have her onto Rosa, which is a good artifact. It'll help her to do more damage. But you could also use Bloodstone. That'll help out with some healing, which is really what I need. Now we're going into Zahaw. This is my PvP Zahaw, and he needs more of everything, right? I like to use my Zahaw to delete Aiden, to go and delete Shu, to delete Senya, to delete heroes that have that Moonlight Landy buff. So I want to have more attack, 3,500 minimum. Then I want to have more speed, 265, because I want to be faster than the enemy Aiden when they're running very fast. I want to be faster than the enemy Moonlight Shu, so he's too slow. Then I have 95% on the crit chance. Ideally, I want to be at 100. That way, I can go into something like a Senya who has the crit resist buff and crit 100% of the time onto that S number 3. It's very important if you're going to use a Zahaw cleave, and so that's really what I'm aiming for. Anything else can go into your crit damage. For the exclusive equipment, number 1 is really the only one that you should run because it gives you and the person that you're using it on an attack buff. And then I have him onto a friendship artifact. Ideally, you want to use Symbol of Unity. That way you get that extra 20% hit chance, and people can't hide behind the evasion artifacts. Now let's look at Destina. She needs more of everything except speed. So I want to run her slower. I want to run her somewhere around about 170, 180. That way the enemy PvP goes first, and then she can go next. If you want to run her in a specialized build for RTA, you can probably use that same build here, but she needs to have more HP, less speed, and way more effect resist. We have her onto the number 1 exclusive equipment. I don't like it. Ideally, I think that I would want to be on a different one. I like the one that has the combat readiness here. That's the number 3 exclusive equipment. The number 1 does help a little bit for removing debuffs, but I don't really like it too much. I'd rather have the combat readiness, and that way you can also use her into PvP. Now we have Guardian Ice Crystals. She doesn't do amazing healing. She has the resurrection, but not amazing healing. So ideally, I want an artifact that helps her to do more healing or to cycle faster. And then lastly, we come into Leia. Now she's pretty much missing everything, right? We need to have more awakenings. We have no awakenings. We also have no Molagora. She needs to have 25k or more health, so she's way low. 213 isn't bad. You can make her a little faster if you wanted. Anything left, you can go into effect resist. We have her onto her own artifact, which is pretty good. It's mostly for PvP. So any kind of artifact that will help her to do more damage, give her more health, or cycle faster will be good here. Here we go, Nightmare Council. This is my second try. What we had on the first one is that just so much damage coming out on that second phase, not enough to heal it with our Destina. So we might have to bring in another type of healer here. We're going to see how that turns out for us. We do see that we have a few souls, and that's because I had to walk here. I was burning a little bit of the Archie on the way, just so that I can speed it up a little bit on the walk. But if you're doing this by teleporting, don't worry about it. You don't really need the souls, but don't be afraid to use them, and that'll help speed up your
The
fight.
stage belongs to everyone. Follow my rhythm.
Let's go ahead and cleanse this, and then we're going to move forward with
afraid.
our damage. Do we need to do it? Let's do it. I'm worried about this Destina. I think that we need to upgrade her or possibly do a little bit more um, Molagora so that she has a lot of the healing that we need. A couple of resists there. That was very nice.
Why not surrender? Let me show you
This
my
Layla,
secret
not optimal as well. She's pretty low on HP. She has not finished out all of her awakenings. And also, we have no Molagora.
I'll do my best.
Let's see how much damage we can get onto this S number 3 with 24k and no molas. 10,000. Okay, it's not terrible. I really like her animation. That's so fun. You know who else? I really like to see the Fire Ravi animation. Still one of my favorites. It's too bad that we don't use Fire Ravi more often.
Don't be afraid.
Okay, let's go ahead, and I think we're going to cleanse.
Beast of the West.
Saving that S number 3 just in case I need some big healing.
Why not surrender?
And we go into our second phase. I do like that they mark this guy here so we know exactly who to attack. It would be near impossible to do this if we didn't have that. Because if you miss even one time, then that's just so much pressure that's going to be on all of your heroes to heal that it'll be just too much. Okay, soul burning for 10k a pop. And 15k off that Landy. Wow. I think he needs some Molagoras here. More Molas into our Zahaw.
The stage belongs to everyone. All together. Fire.
Prove your worth.
We do see some resistance there, but not resisting everything. Okay, and this will take us out of the second phase.
Good.
And a little extra healing from that Destina. Dual attack.
Do my best.
And now we're going to go into just some damage again.
Breaking for real. Sorry.
In the
We're
lion's
not
name.
sealing enough healing out of this. If you have the souls, you can soul burn her S number 1 to hopefully get some more healing.
You're getting in my
But
way.
we're going to seed.
I'm at the scene.
Okay, we got a good resist there.
Prove your
Now we can cleanse this.
overpower them all. Resist as much as you can. I'll remove you like you never even existed.
Council takes about 10 minutes. I think no matter which team I use to run this, it takes about 10 minutes.
Don't be afraid.
Now, if you don't have these heroes, there are some other heroes that you can use as well.
Beast of the West.
You can pull in something like a Green Sid. You can pull in something like a Giselle.
To me.
Again, if you want a second healer or need a second healer, you can pull in something like a Ray.
I'll finish this soon. I'll cut you.
Fire.
I also use Floppy Hat Lilia. She works out pretty well. She does quite a lot of damage, especially if you put her onto Daedric Joker. I don't think that you need this, no. And we don't want to land any kind of debuffs. So all these heroes are 0 debuff heroes, which is very important. If you bring in heroes with debuffs, try and put them down to very low effectiveness. At this rate here, you need to have 55 to have the highest level to land those debuffs, and that's what we don't want, right? So avoid 55% effectiveness. Let's go now, and we're gonna leave you alone and just cycle up our Landy. Landy
Stage
doing the
belongs
most
to
damage of
everyone
this
now.
group.
I'm at the scene.
Very nice resist there. Let's see if
Resist
we
as
can
much
remove
as you
this. We
can.
cannot. That's okay.
Comes at unexpected moments.
We're getting pretty close to that next phase,
Oh, it's just
and
like
we
a
do
dream.
not have the ability to cleanse this out. Let's see if
Don't be
Destina can get a
afraid.
big heal.
Luminescence. Glory.
Injury taking its toll. We see that we only have 16,000 HP onto this Destina now.
Prove your worth.
I'll do my best.
We're going to save that S3.
Radiant light.
Does anyone need heals? Let's go ahead and bring up
Beast
Zahaw.
of the west.
I'll finish this soon.
Okay, and you can cleanse as well. So, let's see if we can get ahead of this boss. We
You're getting
can't.
in my way.
Leave it to me. Oh, it's just like a
Layla,
dream.
man, I really want to use that S number 3. Maybe I should have done it. We can see there that we do not have any cleansing. Even though we have 3 cleansers, no cleansing. We need to be able to cleanse every single time.
Why not surrender? Get ready. It's
Still no cleanse.
Don't be afraid. Foolish.
Prove your worth.
The stage belongs to everyone, sweet.
There we go.
I'm at the scene. Requesting backup.
Yes.
Resist as much as you can.
I have a feeling we're going to need these souls to soul burn
Radiant light.
onto
Destina's
this
protection.
Destina.
Oh, it's just like a dream. All together.
Good.
You're getting in my way. I'll do my best. Prove your worth.
Leave it to me. Get moving. I'm right here.
In the light's name. Beast of the west.
I'll do my best. Right here.
Oh, lucky dual attacks takes us out of that phase.
Finish this soon.
That sounds like
I'll remove
we might have to get a little lucky on this one. The Destina is just not holding up. Really missing my Ray right now. And as we go into this next phase, we can see that the boss now has a buff. So we have to do a soul burn to get him out of that buff. And we're going to do a soul burn every single time we get to the Zahaw turn. So that will continue to take off that debuff.
It's.
I guess we'll go ahead and use this.
I can't take it anymore.
I might need to soul burn the first time on Destina, and I do, or else I'm just not gonna live. Maybe we can play with the artifact here a little bit
resist as much as you
to
can.
see, but it doesn't matter who you soul burn on. We see that that debuff or that buff is now gone.
I'll do my best. Follow my rhythm.
Nice cleanse on Layla, or
Radiant light.
Leia.
Foolish.
She's not gonna do any damage now though, because she has so much injury.
Prove your worth.
We're gonna save this one. Let's go ahead and soul burn and take this off. Very good. Hopefully we get a Destina S3.
Over. I'm at the scene. Answer me.
Yes. In the light's name. Radiant
There we go. I think we're getting pretty lucky. We're gonna need to put that Molagora into Destina.
You're getting in my way.
And let's take this off again.
Good.
Very nice.
Trivial creatures. Don't
I really
deserve
love Zahaw. He is one of my very favorite heroes. I use him all the time for pretty much everything. Don't be afraid to invest in your Zahaw. This one
Don't
I'm
be
going to
afraid.
build up over time to
Beast
make
of the
sure that
West.
he is on top of his game for PvP. I think right now he's got like a friendship artifact
Just like
even.
a dream. Find them.
Should have done the soul burn there. I think it's just attack.
Leave
This
it to me.
defense. It's attack and its speed. So I want to take that off as soon as
resist as
possible.
much as you can.
Radiant light.
No heals from Destina. That's great.
I'll do my best.
We
Sweet
do get that
jam.
cleanse from Layla though. Very good. I think that she needs to have more effect resist. That way this boss doesn't land so many of his stuff onto her. Don't kill Zahak.
In the light's name. Foolish.
Let's bring him up. Maybe we can take off this Venom.
Especially soon. I'll make you useful.
Very good.
Prove your worth. Death
And we're almost done with this boss.
comes at unexpected moments.
This one, a nail biter. This one's a nail biter.
Requesting approval.
Not enough healing off this Destina. We're into 12 minutes, I think now. 12 minutes. It's a long time. Way too long to be fighting this fight.
Don't be afraid.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the heal.
Luminescence.
I like to save it for when there's a lot of venom out there, but man, I'm just so nervous beating this
Do my
now.
best. Everybody now.
Yes.
Resist as much as
Alright,
you
let's
can.
get a soul burn with Zahak. That removes the buff.
I'm at the scene.
Radiant light.
And let's go ahead and let's
Beast of
lift
the
you up.
West.
You're getting in my way.
Want to get that soul burn as soon as possible. And we get to finish it onto a Leia S number 3. That's fun. Very good. Now let's see what kind of gear we get. Let's take a look at our map. So we did have to walk all the way to Council. Once I was there, then I backtracked down and went to these bottom two areas for the elite bosses. Then I went to the right and then up to the north and got all those rewards. Now let's go ahead and go through the portal and see what we're going to get. I wish there was some achievement here because that would make me feel really good about having done this. But I don't see one. That one is going to be garbage. This one, effectiveness with speed. I like it. I wish this top one were HP, but we're going to try and roll that one. That one is a throwaway. And this one is a 32. Now, being that it has speed and effectiveness, I would probably keep this. You can run this onto a lot of heroes if it runs decent. I think at level 32, you're mostly looking at a heroic reforged equivalent, not a epic reforged equivalent. 'Cause this is the old gear that we had before the update to level 88, but we are going to try and roll that gear as well. Let's go ahead and take a look at that gear and see what we can get. Now on this, I want to have effectiveness with speed. Defense will be okay, but I want at least 2 rolls into speed. Okay, and we don't get it, so we're automatically going to get out of this piece. Very good. And let's go into our next piece. Now this one is a 32, but there's a lot of heroes that can use this, especially if we get some pretty decent rolls. Okay, we get an 8 into effectiveness. So now we're seeing high effectiveness. I'm thinking things like Summertime Azaria, right? We get a very good roll into the health as well. This is turning out to be pretty good. We had a 53 at +6, 64 at +9. Wow, all max rolls. This is turning out very nice. I want to get a couple of rolls into speed. It's okay if we don't roll into speed. We can still get into the 200 to 220 mark. This is a very good piece. Let's go ahead and take it all the way up. +15, let's go. We just get effectiveness. That's great. We get a 91, which is very good. I like it. This is going to be a very important piece as we're looking at heroes who want to be bruiser, who want to debuff, and are mostly going to be a attack base. Things with people with burns, people with bleeds, people with bombs. It's going to be a good piece for them. Another nightmare boss down. As I'm thinking about that weapon, I'm thinking Senya. Can we do like an effectiveness Senya? That would be amazing, wouldn't it? I would rather have some defense instead of speed, but this is going to be a pretty good piece that we can put onto a lot of heroes. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Give me a like so other people just like you can find it as well. Until next time, happy hunting and good luck on your battles.